we're back with another episode.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. We are back at it again.
That was good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That was beautiful.
You didn't join in and do a harmony with me.
I was captivated by listening to you.
By my voice. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're like a mix between Fergie and Jesus.
First of all, that's disrespectful. Whoa.
The land of the free.
Whoa. That was
How
a horrible
shitty
time.
for your entire career. The Black Eyed Peas has some great music, but all we can ever think about now.
I blame will.i.am because you know that woman couldn't sing. You knew she couldn't sing, but yet you sat there and you pumped her up and was, it's crazy. And then she decided to sing the national anthem. Why would you do that?
I don't know. Stacey Ferguson. Man, oh man.
Is that her real name?
I think so.
Oh, I never knew that. That's interesting. Well, yeah, she did horrible. Anywho, how was your week this past week? Hopefully that wasn't horrible.
My week was all right. Nothing crazy. No crazy patients.
Really? Did you
know.
win the lottery?
No, I didn't. Actually, this week kind of sucked now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I think I just blocked it out. But it was just like,
It's a trauma response.
I was at work for 10 hours one day. It was just one of those weeks.
Why were you at work for 10 hours?
Because a bunch of patients got dropped off of our caseload, and you know how the ICU is, and they were just like, what about this patient? What about this patient? And it was all patients that just...
Still gonna be there.
I know, they just got dropped, so I just ended up picking up a bunch of stuff in the middle of the day.
Oh, gotcha.
And for some reason, sometimes you just come back and all these people are cannulated, you know, depending on who was on that day.
Yeah.
And the person on that day got a little happy.
Console happy?
Yeah. And decided to go and cannulate everybody. So there's just a lot of work to do. And me, I'm a worker bee. As we all know, I just love to work. Big work girl. I didn't. Jessica was like, come on, let's do it together. And I was like, oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, it's always better when you go with a friend.
Yeah.
It's when you go with a friend, you're like, okay, fine.
If I can start my day off with a PT and we can just knock it out together, I'm much more productive than having to do it on my own.
Yeah, because you have to talk yourself into actually getting up and seeing the patients.
It's nice to have a partner. And it's like someone to motivate you to actually just go in there and do it.
Yeah. And it's great content for the podcast because when you're with a partner, it's like some shit is always going to pop off. And it's hilarious, which is why I miss Quinta very much so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We have this patient right now who everyone thinks is crazy because first of all, she's on ECMO for her lungs. She cannot breathe. What do everyone in the hospital who can't breathe, you know what they love to do? Fucking talk.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
And I'm just like, you cannot do both at the same time. So she doesn't shut up. She's really funny, but she just like never, like, I don't know what the hell she's ever saying. And everyone's like, she's crazy. And you know how like, you don't talk shit to patients, but your patients that are a little wackadoodle, you respond to the things that they say.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah, you have to play into it.
You have to play into it, but like, it's not, because they don't know what they're saying. So I was, playing into it, but she would respond back sarcastically to the shit that I was sarcastically saying to her to play into her bit. And I was like, she is not crazy.
So she's really just reeling you in.
Yeah. I was like, I got by this woman.
She heard y'all talking shit about her. So she's playing a game on you. I love that for her.
But work was fine. Life is fine. June just flew right by.
Listen, June came and got the fuck on out of here. Yeah. But what it did leave was a trail of heat behind. Like, God damn.
It is hot once again. Temperatures in India are hitting 121. Did you know that?
I would not want to be in India. Does it ever snow in India? Do we know that?
I think there are places in India. Like, they have mountains.
Jesus. I would never go to work. I don't want to go to work now.
Can you imagine 121?
No. But doesn't it get that hot like in Arizona and whatnot?
Oh, yeah.
Arizona and Vegas and all that?
Yeah, but not here in Texas where we have AC.
It feels like it. It sure does feel like it's 120 something degrees most days.
I know. We're getting that like hot heat. Like seatbelt burns you when you get in the car heat.
I don't even want to take walks anymore at work.
Where do you walk at lunch?
Yeah.
We were walking a little bit. It's too hot.
From our allotted 15-minute break. That's where we go and walk.
Which, like, why don't we get an hour lunch?
That's what I'm saying. It's for us being in healthcare and doing the physical jobs that we do.
That's what I'm
saying. Should have an hour lunch break. I agree. That should be illegal for us.
If there's one thing we can all come together on, it's that.
Yeah. 30 minutes is not enough. Because as you all know, for black people with our black jobs, our lunch break does not start until we sit down to eat our food.
Yeah.
I'm not calculating in walking down to the cafeteria or heating up my food, waiting in the line for the microwave. I'm not doing that. When I get back and I sit down, my clock starts.
30 minutes to lunch.
To eat lunch and to decompress. Absolutely. Because then when you're in the hallway, you see doctors, you see nurses, they're bothering you. Hey, I have this patient. I'm not on my break yet. I'm getting my lunch, but leave me alone, please.
Exactly.
Jesus.
How was your week?
My week was very interesting, y'all. Y'all need to go ahead and buckle up because this has been a doozy of a week.
I cannot wait to hear this story.
So my week started off kind of okay, but at first, so I got punched by a patient, and typically patients don't try to assault me because of my size. Typically, I can intimidate them enough. Right. I know you can lift me up, big mama. Fuck you, sir. Anyway. So I had this patient, we'll call him Mr. Johnson. Of course, that's every patient is Mr. or Mrs. Johnson. So I get him up to the edge of the bed. He's had what surgery did he have? He had an ileostomy. He's like an 80-something-year-old man. Anyway, and so, 80-something-year-old men's strength is not really that great. But he had enough strength to, when I got him to the side of the bed, he was cooperating and doing perfectly fine. He was on close obs, 1-to-1 observation, which means that a CNA was in his room because he was trying to pull out certain lines, this NG tube,
wacky pataki.
Exactly. And so I set him up at the edge of the bed, poor sitting balance, right? So I'm having to hold him up so both my hands are behind his shoulders like this. Like for the people who are watching the video, I just have my arms like tucked around his shoulder. And so all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, this bitch just started hitting me in my stomach. So of course I yoked his ass up and I was like, sir, do we have a problem? I was like, and you need to stop that immediately. And so he stopped punching me. And then I was like, all right, sir, I got your life in my hands.
You had one time to try.
That was your one. I bet you won't do that shit again.
The CNA was in the room with you?
Yeah, so she was trying to stop. She was like, oh, no, sir, no. Well, because the nurse had already told, she was sitting outside the room too. And so the nurse was like, hey, he's been kicking people. He's been spitting at people, all this other kind of stuff. And so again, he has an NG tube. So all that green shit is coming out of the NG tube. Sir, if you spit on me, I smother you with a pillow. Okay. So no, he did not spit on me, but he did punch me in my damn stomach. And I was like, all right, sir.
What the heck?
I'm telling y'all, we don't get in this industry to get beat on.
No, and that's what I'll come home with bruises, and I'm like, how the hell did this happen,
Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, it's because people got the death grip on.
Listen, meanwhile, this dude putting his hands on me. It's Kelly Rowland. That's all I'm saying.
Was that one of the first patients you had, or is it towards the afternoon?
No, it was in the middle.
Because if it was in the morning, I would have turned right around. I'd have been like, I'm done.
No, just after he did it, I was just like, y'all might want to up his sedation and do something. And then the next day I saw him, his wife came in and she was, okay, you know how when we're in hospital settings, just in general, you have to take control of the situation. You have to take control of your treatment, your evaluation, because patients, family members, especially the wives, they get so overworked. And here's the thing about me. I'm a therapist, but I actually love for patient family members to be present just because I feel like this is the best chance for you to see number one, what your loved one is able to do. Number two, that your loved one is actually being taken care of. And then 3, you're just there. Anyway, so
sometimes they can get them to act right.
Exactly. Sometimes you can actually help us because we're strangers. So sometimes they'll do better for us without you there. Sometimes they'll do better with us while you're there. So the wife comes in and she's just being totally unrealistic. Oh, he was able to go on the cruise. And he was able to do this, and that. And I'm like, ma'am, your husband is in his 80s and just had a major abdominal surgery 2 days ago. So whatever he was doing prior to this, I don't care. Which is why I didn't even ask you what his prior level of function was. Because it's irrelevant. He's going to rehab. That's going to be my recommendation. So then she starts saying, she's like, we really want him to go to rehab. I really want him to come home. And so I said to her, so she was in the room and she kept over talking me every time this is what she did. So I would say to the patient, Mr. Johnson, my name is Monica from physical therapy. Babe, this is Monica from physical therapy.
That's my favorite.
And so I said, can you tell me where you are? Tell her where you are, hon. She did that twice. And I said, hey, Mrs. Johnson, here's what I need you to do. Because she was sitting on the right side of him, like by the door. So I politely said, hey, I want you to come over here, sit in this little recliner right here. And I'm doing a cognitive assessment, so I need for you to be quiet while I ask the questions and allow him to answer, and then I will confer with you at the very end, okay?
I'm not doing this for fun.
Yeah,
I have his name right here on this paper.
I know everything about him because I've already read his chart. I need him to tell me if he knows where he is and why he's here.
Because a lot of these people,
they don't. And so she sits on her hands, whatever, and then partway through, she starts, jumping back in again, and I'm like, hey, reminder, it's not about you. And So yeah, it was just very interesting. I had to just kind of like calm her down. I told her, I said, well, ma'am, I know you don't want him to go to rehab. However, if you were to take him home today, do you think you would be successful in being able to take care of him? Oh no, but I'm just saying. And I said, right, but I can't make a recommendation based off potential to a degree. I have to go based on what he did in my face today, which was horrible because I had to hold him up and he don't know where he at.
In the stomach.
He actively punched me in my stomach, ma'am. Like, did you forget about that part? Oh, okay. Just want to make sure. So yeah, that was interesting. And then another thing. So we're gonna go a little deep real quick before we get into the funny. Unfortunately, so I had a very interesting interaction that happened, and I won't go into full detail just because it is still an active issue. Unfortunately, with HR. Anywho,
we love an HR issue.
So this week I was there's a particular coworker that I work with. He's an OT. Much younger guy, and well, he's not much younger. He's a couple years younger than me.
He's an OT.
He's an OT.
This makes this even worse. What the
exactly?
Fuck?
Because there's a certain level of cultural competence that should be present that unfortunately is not present in the medical field, and so people get very comfortable on these Reddit chats, and they get very comfortable in their bias and in their discrimination outside of work, and unfortunately, it filters over into work. So he and I, we're the kind of coworkers where we're not friends. We are literally coworkers, but we're able to have very difficult conversations. Like, you know how sometimes in hospital settings, people want to have conversations about race and about politics and about religion. And all it is, it turns into a screaming match. He and I, we don't do that at all. We have very good conversations about politics where we're not trying to convince each other to change each other's mind. He's a Republican, I believe, allegedly, or a liberal. I don't subscribe to the Democratic Party, but I typically vote more Democratic than anything. And so this week, hold on a second.
He's a 36-year-old right-leaning white man.
White nationalist.
He's
a white nationalist. Anyway, so he's a white nationalist, especially after what he did the other day. So he is a student, and so his student was talking to a patient, and at a certain age your hearing just goes, and so you have to oftentimes yell at patients because they are hard of hearing. And so I was laughing. I was like, oh wow, she's really yelling at that person because he's really hard of hearing. And so he says to me, well, yeah, you really don't want to know what the patient said beforehand. And I was like, what? And so he was like, well, this is him saying this, not me. This is, and I quote, nigga, please. And I said, excuse me?
With his chest, he said that
He said it with his chest in front of me. And I said to him, you really felt that was okay to say that in front of me as a black woman? And I said, wow. And I walked away because I was infuriated. Because I was like, we've had these difficult conversations about saying slurs and things of that nature, and racism specifically. We've talked about discrimination, and he's even said to me, we talked about slavery, and he talked about his Irish ancestors who were enslaved. I was like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of my face.
Everybody comes from somewhere, buddy.
I was just like, please don't try to compare your 2 days to 500 years, okay? Anyway,
it's a bad time to bring up my Irish heritage.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. You've had your day of Irish good luck. Anywho, so I had a conversation with him the very next day because I wanted to be of sound mind and sound doctrine when I talked to him.
Okay.
And I said to him, hey, we have to have a difficult conversation. And I said, I was very taken aback, to say the least. I felt very hurt by you saying this and disrespected because the fact that I have never fostered a culture or an environment where it is ever safe to use that word.
Right.
And the fact that you felt the need to say Nigga, you put the A on it, which means, and it flows so smoothly off his tongue, which I know you use that on a regular basis. Allegedly.
This is giving the it was just a song lyric. I just said it because they say it in the song.
Exactly. And so
comfortable.
I said to him, I was just like, I have never ever in my time of working with you have ever made it comfortable for you to use racial slurs around me, be discriminatory, be biased, none of that. And so there were other ways that you could have said it. You literally could have just said the N-word.
Right.
And this wonderful child of God, because I'm trying to be very careful with my words. This wonderful child of God says to me, I do apologize. I didn't know that word was hurtful to you or would be hurtful to you.
That's why there's a whole taboo around using it, my friend.
You didn't know that saying the N-word to a black person would be offensive or hurtful?
I feel like if there's one thing you know, it's that you can't use that word.
You spend enough time on Reddit as a white nationalist to know that that word is offensive to black people.
Itching to use it to your black, what you thought was friend.
And you wanted to use me as a temperature gauge, and now your ass gonna end up in HR.
Also,
because you don't wash your goddamn mind.
Sir, you're at work.
If you can say that so smoothly and so freely with a coworker, I can imagine in a professional setting, I can only imagine what you say to patients when no one else is looking.
Sir, what?
And I was just like,
the audacity.
I'm telling y'all, here's the thing. When I talk about race on this podcast, I'm not being a race baiter. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not a person who's just talking about race because we have no other content to speak about.
Race baiter Ginsburg.
That's actually kind of funny. But my thing is, when black people tell y'all, non-black people, that it is always about race, this is the shit we're talking about. Because he would never go up to a person, or even to me, and say a Jewish slur out loud.
Well, he would never make a joke about the Holocaust to a Jewish person.
No, he would not.
After hearing it from
he would never say an Asian slur in front of an Asian. He would never say a Hispanic slur in front of a Hispanic. But the fact that you felt comfortable to say the N-word in front of a black woman in corporate spaces, and then thought that was gonna be okay, and I wasn't gonna check your ass on it.
That's also like the word. Like, that's the no-no word.
And you know it. Because, again, if we've had intellectual conversations about race and about politics and about the things that are going on culturally and socially, and we've been able to have them without a negative discourse, and we've even talked about racism, using certain slurs and things of that nature, like, you know, and I told him, I said, there was a million other ways you could have said that and got your point across without saying that to my face and thinking that I wasn't going to do shit about that.
Did you think he thought you were going to laugh it off or what?
I guess he'll find out in HR.
You won't laugh. You're going to have the last laugh. Also, you're not 70 years old, sir. You're young. You know not to use that word.
Married with about to be 3 children.
Are they white?
He's white.
Are his kids mixed?
No, his kids ain't mixed.
Oh.
If that was the case, I would have called CPS.
I was like, even worse.
But I just couldn't. People... Listen, y'all got to use whatever little bit of common sense that God gave y'all.
I don't know. It's so different from having, like, at work, if I ever hear something crazy, it's from, like, an old demented person.
You expect that from your patients, unfortunately.
Right. Unfortunately, you expect it from them, but I always assume everyone working at the hospital is, like, of sound mind, body.
You would think.
And knows they're in a professional setting and knows how to fucking act.
Yeah, and the fact that you wouldn't, because, again, there are certain slurs that I have heard since moving here, especially being around a predominantly Hispanic population, that I have not heard growing up around a different Hispanic population. You know, there are Mexican slurs that people use, and Mexican people themselves will use it, and I'm like, what is that? And so I won't say it, because if you say it comfortably, just like the N-word, for example,
right?
If a black person uses the N-word, they have now taken the power over that word and use it for whatever reason, right? I've heard Mexicans call themselves WBs, right? I don't say that shit. No. But even if it's another slur that I've never heard of, like today I heard another slur that somebody had said, or like I guess a derogatory term toward Hispanics was CHINO. I had never heard that before. Now I can spell out the word. I'm not gonna use that word because I know it's a slur. And why would I use a slur to someone else's culture when I know that my culture has, you know, slurs as well too that are very harmful and hurtful to us as a culture? And I'm just like, or as a race of people. So it was just very unfortunate that that happened. So I'm like, got punched in the gut twice this week, you know?
Even my racially confused ass knows what to and to not say.
Come on now.
So if I can do it, anyone can.
People love to say, oh, it slipped out. It didn't slip out.
Those things don't slip out.
They don't. Listen, out of the abundance of the heart, the what? Mouth speaks. That's all I'm saying.
Also, words are very easy to slip and like you can catch something halfway through a word and not say it.
But the fact that that was premeditated, I'm going to tell you why. You heard your patient say it, and then you came to me, a black woman, and said, you prefaced it by saying, this is not me. This is what the patient said. This is how you know it was intentional. And you said, this isn't me. This is the patient saying this. And you could have easily just said, N-word, please.
Yeah.
I would have got what you were saying. You didn't have to say the whole word. Like, and so it took me, like, he apologized or whatever, but I'm like, fuck your apology, bitch.
I'm taking it to HR.
Like,
I would.
Baby, already took. What you mean taking it? It's already took. Ugh. Like, okay.
And on the backs of Juneteenth.
Listen, Juneteenth ain't even warm in the grave yet. And you over here with the fuck shit? I guess because maybe his holiday is coming up of Independence Day. I don't fucking know.
They're getting real rowdy. Because
I don't celebrate that shit.
The whites are getting excited for.
I'm telling you, y'all, these white nationals, they are infiltrated everywhere, allegedly. Anywho,
I can't wait for a hot dog.
Oh,
I think.
What? I was very
4th of July.
Oh, I was like, what does that have to do with white nationalists?
I was just, yo, don't you know?
Jesus. Well, I'll tell you what else is
the racism to hot dog pipeline.
I guess, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. You ready to get on into it, or do we need to talk about anything else?
I think that's it.
What are you throwing in the Rehab Corner today?
Unrealistic expectations for patients. That's what I'm throwing in the Rehab Corner.
Okay.
I had to go see this patient who had, unfortunately, was in a horrible car crash in January.
Oh, jeez.
Has been sitting in an LTAC since January. When I, like,
that's
vent dependent, debilitated, traumatic brain injury, like all the things.
Jeez.
Came back to the hospital because it was O2 requirements were going up. And the family, which I'm not saying I wouldn't do it if this was my situation. I'm just saying I'm not going to be the one to mess with it. But the family says, of course, like, oh, we're not going back to the LTAC. We will not be leaving this hospital till he's ready to go to an ARU.
I love how they have so much control.
And I was like, okay, first of all, for those of you who don't know, to go to a rehab, you have to, A, be able to tolerate 3 hours of therapy a day. B, you have to be on 6 liters or less of oxygen. This man is dependent on the vent.
He thinks he's going to ARU. That's awesome.
Has not been out of the bed in 6 months. So, of course, the doctor's like, need him in the chair. He's got to get to the chair. Is it going to fly there? Who the fuck's going to put him there? I'm not going to put him there. Sit this man up. He's just agitated. Pulls himself off the vent twice.
How much support is he on this ventilator? Just humor me for a second.
I want to say
this is FiO2.
It had to have been like 40% people 5.
Oh, okay, not bad.
So it wasn't horrible, but that's still a lot.
Yeah, you're on a vent.
It's a far stretch from having a little.
You can't go on the BiPAP at this point.
If the nasal cannula falls off for a couple seconds, we're good.
Right.
Bitch, you get disconnected from that vent.
So he decannulated himself.
Yes, twice. Well, he just popped himself off of the.
Oh, he's a trach.
He's a trach.
Gotcha. I was like, he took the ETT out.
He's
Damn,
like,
he's
screw
a
this.
All the Jesus.
And I'm just like, I need everyone to be realistic here.
Yeah, seriously. Including the patient's family.
I'm tired. And so, like, we do this whole thing. Sometimes you have to sit patients up and do all of these things just to give everyone a visual of what they're actually able to do, which is what I thought I was doing. Take the restraints off, sit him up at the edge of the bed. It's a total. He can't tolerate very much. He pulled himself off from the vent twice. He's just grabbing his stuff. He tried to grab the PT's dick that was standing in front of him. I was like, this is a mess. Can't follow commands. Putting him back in the bed. I'm like, all right, y'all just saw that, right? Like, super inappropriate.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, oh, I said, yeah, he's pulling out all his lines. He tried to pull the NG. He pulled the trach from the vent. He's like, great. That means he's getting stronger. Let's go ahead and I said, how the hell are you gonna restrain him in the chair?
I hate people.
Who's gonna? And it's just been a week like that.
Yeah.
So I just need everyone to kind of
calm it down.
All right.
Adjust
We're
your
therapists, not freaking. I'm not Jesus Christ over here. I'm not making the blind see.
No.
I'm just a girl. I'm just trying to get a check
in my world.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what I'm putting in the Rehab Corner today. Inflation.
White nationalists. Oh.
White nationalists, but also inflation.
Hand in hand.
True. They're the reason why we have inflation. So I have a much less serious situation, but serious at the same time. So the other day, I was really craving Krispy Kreme donuts, and I am not a Krispy Kreme girl. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts girl. Are you? What's your favorite donut place?
I'm a donut girl. Period. Point blank.
But what's your favorite brand of?
I love a Shipley's donut. And Shipley's, I think is it just Texas, South Texas?
I've never heard of Shipley's until I moved here,
so it's got to be in Texas. Yeah. But I fucking love a Shipley's donut.
Shipley's, I'm gonna tell you all
and
this.
I love the predominantly Asian families that run that shit. Every single one. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, no disrespect to the Asians, but Shipley's donuts taste like, or they are very reminiscent as if somebody baked all the donuts, let them dry, and then came back and licked all of them and just put them in your box. They're always fucking wet, and I cannot stand the wet glaze.
But you know what? The good thing thing is, they're so wet that you can have them for a couple days and the shit's still moist because they were so fucking wet to begin with. But it's only
the outside. I don't like wet bread. I need for the glaze to be crusted at this point.
I hate Dunkin' Donuts because I think they're so dry.
That's why I love Dunkin' Donuts.
See, I think we're hitting donuts from
because I get the old fashioned. Well, even too with Duck Donuts. Duck Donuts is my favorite because
they have a cakey donut.
Their old fashioned or their version of old fashioned or plain without the glaze is the best batter, hands down. Argue with your mama. Amazing. But I'm a Dunkin' Donut girl. But anyway,
Dunkin' Donut girl. But I do love but I love a hot Krispy Kreme.
I like an old Krispy Kreme.
I want the light on. Oh, you like that shit to be sitting there for a while.
I don't like
just like a wet donut.
Yeah, you do.
I like a wet You know what? You know how in the hot dog eating contest they fucking soak the donut?
That is Alyssa.
I like my donut.
If you put bread in water, I will call the FBI.
I would never do it. I'm just saying there's gotta be something to it. It's easier to get it in.
No, not at all. So I was craving Krispy Kreme, so I just wanted to go get a half dozen. I was like, I'm just gonna get a half dozen. I eat them over the course. Yeah, just quick fix. I'll just get, eat them over the course of a few days. Probably just one day. Anyway, so.
And that's nobody's business.
And that's nobody's business. I'm gonna do. I do what I want. So anyway, but you know what it was? I went to the gym, so I was like, I worked really hard in the gym. I deserve a treat. I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts. To Krispy Kreme to undo everything I just did at the gym. Anyway.
Even like one sniff of Krispy Kreme, just like
you have to get one. Yeah. You have to get one. And so I went to Krispy Kreme to try to get a half dozen. So I go there and I don't see like the price on the thing, but I'm like, surely it's gonna be no more than like $6-7 because it's just donuts. Who the fuck? Like a donut probably is like $1, right? Or 89 cents, whatever. I get to that front window. This man tells me, "All right, ma'am, your total is $10.98."
You got me.
And I said in the window, "For 6 donuts?" I said, "Sir, how much is a dozen?" He says, $14.98. Bitch, why the fuck would I pay $11 for 6 and then $15 for 12? I was like, cancel the order. And I drove off. But I was like, damn, the craving was so strong. So I drove to another Krispy Kreme.
Okay. I was going to say, you are strong. Because my ass would have been like, all right, give them to me.
No, because I was like, there's got to be another solution. So
the solution is to waste $20 in gas to go to another Krispy Kreme and then ask them again.
And then figure it out. So then I went to another Krispy Kreme and I was like, I'm determined to not spend $10 on donuts. So I go in the drive-thru and I see that they have the little dots or like munchkins, whatever, donut munchkins. Donut holes for $6 for 24. That's probably a half a dozen right there. They just cut them bitches up. So I got those instead. I only spent $6 as opposed to $11. Why the fuck is Krispy Kreme so high?
I blame the economy.
I blame white nationalists who say the N-word at work.
It's gotta be. I love a donut. I couldn't have said no. I would have gotten them. But also, that's so expensive. That's insane.
Wait, this is not Duck Donuts. I don't mind paying $12
for like
a
half dozen
at Duck Donuts.
Specialty donut.
If y'all have never been to Duck Donuts, y'all don't know what y'all missing out. They'll put your mama on a donut.
Bacon on a donut.
Remember that time I ate one of those donuts and my lips swole? So I have to be very careful with Duck Donuts. I don't know.
It was like a blueberry one, lemon blueberry.
I think it was the lemon blueberry. Allegedly,
that was a good fucking donut,
and it was a great donut. And then I ate it, and all of a sudden I was like, "Damn, my lip feels really weird," and my top lip just swole up.
You had lips.
Yeah, and then Alyssa comes to my house, and she just immediately just starts laughing. I was like, "You fucking bitch!" Don't keep me like
Jammy Duck. Do you think that they still do the red light? Where they give donuts away for free? They do?
So the thing is, somebody confirmed it on TikTok. I did see this on TikTok.
Because I would just think, if they're charging that much for donuts, they're probably not doing the red light.
What happens is, once the light is on, you get one free donut.
Oh, that's wrong.
While the light is on.
No.
Yeah.
It used to be, you could walk in that bitch and just be like, I would like my
Well, if you go there at the end of the day, or the end of the night, when they get rid of clothes, they'll probably give you free donuts.
I just loved watching that conveyor belt go down, all those donuts getting glazed, that red glaze light on.
It used to hurt my teeth to see the glaze.
Oof, yeah. Oof.
Like you feel like you just need an instant root canal.
Krispy Kreme's like the cotton candy of donuts. That shit just kind of like disappears in your mouth. It's like it never happened.
Exactly. But the donut holes do taste different because they put so much glaze on it. So I wish I could have an old fashioned Krispy Kreme donut with just a little glazed sauce on the side to dip it in.
I like a Cinnabon action.
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I really like sour cream donuts. They have sour cream donuts.
Okay, so does Dunkin' Donuts?
They do have a sour. You know who has really good sour cream donuts?
Who?
HEB.
I didn't know they had sour cream donuts.
HEB has like donut, like the glass thing you open.
But they're breaded though, right?
Yeah.
It's not glazed?
It is glazed.
Oh, why would you do that?
It's got a thin glaze. It's like a thin, just like a little, you have to have something. It's not like a thick glaze.
Oh. Y'all be ruining donuts, man. Just don't put all that shit on there.
I love donuts.
I do too. Donuts are great. I don't know who invented donuts, but I'm grateful for you. May God bless your cupboards and may they never go empty.
My 18th birthday, I had a Krispy Kreme donut cake.
That's just fat.
It's the biggest bag of shit. Yeah, you would have been there, eat it too, bitch.
Hell yeah.
It's fucking delicious.
Listen, as long as it's not Shipley's, and no disrespect to Shipley's, I'm quite sure you're a great company, but I don't like Shipley's donuts.
I love a Shipley's donut.
And every time people bring donuts at work, it's always, and I'll be like, ooh, what is it? They'd be like, Shipley's.
It's always Shipley's because we're in Texas. And Marissa hates them too, and I'm like, give it here.
And she's from Texas. That's weird.
She's like, they taste sour, or they taste something like that.
They just taste like somebody licked them shit to put them back on the conveyor belt. I will not stand for
any Shipley's trash talk on this.
Oh, we trash talking them. I'll tell you what else is happening with the trash talk. Biden versus Trump. We got to talk about it.
Ooh.
Y'all.
I've never worked in a nursing home.
But this is what it looks like.
But this has got to be what it feels and looks like.
Absolutely.
And sounds like.
Absolutely. So if y'all don't know, if you didn't pay attention, this week, or this past week rather, President Trump and President Biden and former President Donald Trump had a debate where they had no audience. It was just the two of them. Could you imagine if there was an audience there? Oh my God.
Heckling.
It would have been
tomato.
It would have been way horrible, but it probably would have made Biden look better because he would have been able to feed off the audience because you know, he's dark branded and everything. Anywho, so Trump and Biden went head to head for a debate, political debate, where Joe Biden, both of them looked like they were in nursing homes. One looked like
one just happened to be sundowning. I think.
One was sundowning. The other was in a manic episode
for sure.
And so people were talking about winners and losers. Here's who really lost: the American people.
Us.
And so it was really hard, not hard to watch. It was funny and sad if you took out the fact that you're stuck in America.
if this didn't directly affect each and every one of us, it would have been funny.
Well, the thing is, okay. So the biggest thing, two big takeaways. First of all, Biden said, if I win, if I'm elected, I will overturn Roe v. Wade. Sir, you realize you're the president now, right?
I feel like you could do that.
You could do it today. Why do it in November when you could do it today?
The power.
You absolutely have as Captain Planet would say, the power is yours.
He's like, we're going to wait on it. Let's see what happens.
I got to see if I'm elected first. And then I'll
if you act right, I'll act right.
It was ridiculous. And then Trump starts talking about the illegals. They're over here stealing the black jobs and the Hispanic job, the Mexican jobs. I just want to know what is a black jobs? Because I'm a physical therapist. I don't think there's a single
that's a white job
migrant or a single asylum seeker that is saying, you know what, I'm going to fight the hardest I can and get hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt to get a doctorate degree in physical therapy. I don't think they're doing that.
What are the black jobs?
I don't know. I think to me, it was a racist comment, honestly.
But you know what he didn't do is say the N-word out loud.
He didn't say the N-word out loud like my coworker did.
Yep.
So at least he has a little bit of tact, I guess.
Well, he knows and that's the thing. If this man who says crazy shit all the time knows that the one thing he can't fucking do,
he just says the blacks.
Yeah.
That's his way of saying the N-word.
Right, yeah. Well, even this motherfucker knows he can't say that.
Exactly. Well, when he said it, Joe Biden was like, what? And then Joe Biden woke up at the very end of the debate and he's like, the only criminal that's standing here is a man sitting next to me on my right-hand side. He's got 34 felonies, and he cheated on his pregnant wife with a porn star. And Trump was like, meh.
He was like, I'm not going to debate that.
I was like, we are in a Truman Show. Did you ever watch that movie?
I have watched that movie.
This is the Truman Show. This is not real.
In the Matrix, this is a simulation.
It absolutely is. And then there were so many people overseas that were talking shit about America. Y'all are fucked. How about you do this, people overseas? Worry about your own front door. Okay, sweep around your own front door before you worry about what the fuck Americans got going on.
Let us in.
Listen, we don't give a damn about your universal health care. That's why you still got to fly over to the United States for all these advanced surgeries. So shut up. I mean, you can always go to Sweden, I guess, whatever. But still, damn it, worry about your own politics over there. Y'all be fighting in Parliament and shit, putting hands on people. Stay out of our American ass business.
Where is it good to live right now? Like, where's there a good place to live?
New Zealand. I would move to New Zealand, but New Zealand has a lot. They have very similar bugs and animals like Australia. Like you be peeing and then all of a sudden there's a spider that comes out that's like the size of your head.
This is Sweden, Norway,
absolutely. But I don't know that they like black people.
I don't think they're gonna let people over. Canada,
I would love to live in Canada. Okay, because they have Chipotle there.
They have the number 3 quality of life, 2 best countries overall. Denmark, Finland, these are white ass places that do not want us.
Yeah, allegedly.
Netherlands, Australia.
I would never move to Australia.
New Zealand's 10.
I would never move to Australia. Just because of the
because
bugs.
they're all crooks. Oh,
no, the bugs, like the snakes and stuff, be crawling onto your. Hell no, you can't even poop in peace. Absolutely not. No,
I don't like bugs or snakes.
no,
You're
and
right.
their animals are like, okay, you remember Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
Okay, Land 4 of Super Mario Brothers when everything was gigantic. That's Australia. So their roaches are the size of your heads. The spiders are the size of your heads. They got pythons everywhere.
When people say that they like put their visors down on their car and bugs fly,
yeah,
like, it's that shit.
And then eating kangaroo meat. Who does that? No,
Kangaroos are creepy.
They are because they're too strong. They got like their pecs are impeccable. But
See what she did there.
Anyway, but yeah, I would definitely live in Canada.
Yeah, no, Canada sounds good.
Canada's very hard to become a citizen, though.
Is it?
Yeah, they don't like us.
They don't. They not like us.
Listen. I don't care that we're at the top. That they're at the top of us. They don't like us at all.
They should stay down
They
there.
think we're beneath them.
Literally,
Rightfully so, based off the what you call it. Do you think there should be age limits for politicians?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I just isn't there, a brain can only brain
for so long.
for so long.
True.
And that job requires so much brain
Yeah.
power and activity. You're in charge of big things. Some would say people's lives.
A lot of people's lives. You know what I think it was? I mean, a lot of people were talking about, well, this is just sad to watch him. And this is how I know y'all don't work with 82-year-olds on a regular basis. Because this is about normal. Here's the thing. There are a lot of 82-year-olds who you cannot believe that they're 82 because they are so quick-witted and sharp, right?
This is pretty run-of-the-mill.
This is pretty average for most 82-year-olds.
I kept saying, oh, you should see what people his age actually look like. And I wanted to be like, this is what they actually look like.
And for us in the medical field, we get a patient that's 82 and we're like, Joe Biden. We know what this patient is going to do.
Like gone in the they are already gone somewhere. He was sipping coffee somewhere. He was not at that debate.
Listen, their white matter is a little bit
chronic changes, vascular changes,
ischemic rather. I'm just saying, this is what a regular 82-year-old looks like,
and that's why they shouldn't be running the country. We should have capped it. I don't think you should be able to run for president after 65.
I don't think you should be able to run after 60. I don't think a single person who is over the age of 60 should be in politics at all. You should not be able to hold an office if you're over the age of 60 unless your birthday just happens to fall in, and then by the end of that year you need to get the fuck on up out of there. And I think that there should be a detachment period where once you turn 60, you now move into an advisory spot where you get paid much less because you are now retired, but you can still advise the younger generation coming up of how to do, what to do, how to maintain decorum, all that kind of stuff, which they don't be maintaining
doing that
decorum.
anyway. So what's the fucking point? But
exactly. But I just don't feel like 60 should be the cap.
I'm just like, didn't presidents used to be young and hot?
They used to be, I guess. Well, they had a big issue when Bill Clinton was president. He was like one of the younger presidents, and then Obama as well too. Yeah,
and they were like, I don't know, proper fit, as they would say across the pond.
And he still had a heart attack. I mean, but the thing is too, I think the Republican Party and the Democratic Party right now are really scrambling because neither one of them look good.
No.
And people are talking about, oh, Joe Biden looks this. Yeah, but your candidate has 34 felonies. Okay. Please understand, 34 felonies and wants to introduce, allegedly, Project 2025 and be a dictator. So both parties are absolutely losing. Here's the thing, too. I've seen this discourse on social media where people are talking about, well, this is why we don't need to vote for Joe Biden. And this is why we don't need to vote for Trump. Okay, well, what is the answer? Because not voting is not the answer.
True. We've always said that.
Yeah, number two, it's July. Okay, when this comes out, it's going to be July, bitch. Okay? We got 3 months to vote. Okay? One would say maybe 3.5. Not even really. 3 months and a week. Okay. There is no way the Democratic Party and the Republican Party can pick another person to then come up and do a national election to say, hey, we're going to throw this in here. Y'all go vote for these people to see if you can be better than them.
This is what we got.
So at this point, it's the fight of the vice presidents. That's my personal belief. And with my limited political knowledge, because this is not a political stand podcast. However, I think whoever Trump chooses for his vice president is going to go head to head with Kamala. And that's going to be it. It's going to be somebody racist.
Do we think, wouldn't it be a fun thing if it was a black woman? Again. Wouldn't that be fun?
No.
Black woman against black woman?
Because we still wouldn't vote for her. Because if he picks if he picks Stacey Abrams, we in trouble.
Imagine. What are you gonna do?
Because I'm gonna go with Stacey Abrams every time. I guess I'll be voting for Trump then. Shit.
We'll be your political podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think it's sad, but also too, this is the reality. The Republican Party and the Democratic Party knew exactly what they were doing when they put forth these two people as the front runners. They knew how old Joe Biden was in the very beginning, which is why they backed him. He's been old, and he's been in Congress a long ass time, which is, I still say they should have backed Hillary Clinton. Bernie was too old as well too, but at least Hillary Clinton had knowledge and skills and abilities that she could have used. However,
her resume is locked and loaded.
But she's a woman. She's a white woman specifically, and they would rather a black man be in office than white women. Here's what I also want to say too. I'm really getting tired of the rappers, the black rappers, because that's who all raps. Anyway,
because we're not listening to the white ones.
We're not listening to the white ones, but the black rappers and the black celebrities who are going campaigning to the black people. I really want y'all to have a stat sheet in your hand to understand who historically in these United States of America who flips elections. It is not black folk. Black folk for a long time have been voting the same way, which is Democratic. Okay. I don't care the age limit. I don't care, or the age range. We have been voting historically Democratic. Okay. The only people who have flipped elections most of the time, majority of the time, are white women.
Time and time again.
Stop talking to us, the black people, when we are not the ones that control votes. White women historically have always controlled the vote in this country. We know where white men are going to vote every single time. They never change the script. Hispanics, we know they're going to vote the way most white men vote. Okay. They never change the script. Black folks, we vote the same way. And the white women are the ones who'll be, yeah, equality. And they get their ass behind that damn curtain and they go ahead and vote what? Toward white men. Stop asking us, stop campaigning to us and saying, rock the vote. Go tell these white ladies how to vote. God damn.
Rock the vote.
Jesus.
I didn't realize Hillary Clinton was 76 years old.
And she doesn't look 76.
She doesn't, but God, that's...
Maybe without makeup. Who knows? But she's supposed to look that way.
I just didn't realize she was that old.
She's been in politics for a very long time.
She was
in college.
Yeah, she does not look... Well, this picture makes her.
Well, she's got hot sauce in her bag. When she pulls her hair back, yeah, she needs the bang.
Yeah, she's
or the
not the bang.
The bang. Hillary Rodham Clinton needs the bang.
She looks much better with the bang.
Yeah.
Well, damn, those men look horrible.
That's what happens when you're seething with discrimination and racism.
White men age like milk.
They really do. Horrible.
Where's Barry?
Barry who? Barry White?
Barack.
Oh, Barry, yeah. What is he, 60? Is he even 60 yet? Probably.
He's 62 years old. A spry 62.
And gray as hell. God damn.
That job really did a number on him.
But when you make a whole week's long, dissertation about a brown suit, that's what tends to happen, unfortunately. The man wore one brown suit and they called him unpresidential. I mean, and the former president got convicted of 34 felonies. He's well, it's a sham of a trial.
That shouldn't even have had anything to do with it.
It was a porn star. Grab her by the pussy. We don't care. It's ridiculous. These people, oh my God.
Oh man.
Anyway, what were you telling me about, speaking of fucked up shit, home prices? What were you telling me about home prices?
Home prices are now, I think, historically the highest they have ever been.
Of what being the average?
The new median home price, I think, for the last, as of last month, was $418,000.
Okay, I know we just spoke about black jobs and Hispanic jobs, even though we don't know what they are. What jobs do these people have that they can afford these houses?
They must be the white jobs. I don't fucking know. Maybe the Asian. I have no idea.
Baby, at my salary.
And so it's got to be. This is like the median of all the houses everywhere, right? So like the $20 million houses and all of that. That's
still a lot.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. Like from the, cheapest, but there's no cheap housing anymore. So it's not like you can take the cheapest house and it'll $418,000.
You know what's crazy? I was watching this video on TikTok, as I often do, of this young man who was going around just some random grocery stores. He was in Home Depots and Lowe's. He was going up specifically to what appeared to be boomer aged individuals, right? Mm-hmm. And so he was like, hey, what did you pay for your very first house? And the amount of money that these people pay for their houses, I don't care if it was in the 60s or 70s. I mean, these people were like, oh yeah, my house only cost me $10,000.
Insane.
$15,000. And I get it that obviously the cost of living was not the same. Minimum wage was not the same. All that kind of stuff. Everything is, but it's insane that even 30 years ago, houses were reasonable. I remember my parents' house that they still own, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they paid $75,000 for their house in 1975. That's when they bought that house.
I'm just like, you used to be able to, if you had like a quote unquote like a typical career.
Yes.
You could have a career, buy yourself a house. I don't know, not be destitute
or house poor.
Yeah, you can't do that now.
No, you can't. It's insane. Even the interest rates, they're like, oh, a low interest rate of 7%. What?
Yo, interest rates are, I think they just went down to like 6 point something, maybe like 6.8, but
that's
it's like
7.2
is what it's been. It's insane.
Well, then they advertise, oh, your mortgage will only be $900. No, that's not
everything
true.
Else.
Because if you got your homeowner's insurance is going to go up every single year. Your taxes are going to go up every single year. And if your escrow analysis, I'll be nervous every January. I'll be like, Lord Jesus, don't let it go up. And they be, hey, bitch, you're short $600.
Guess what we're doing? We're going up.
Exactly. So,
I don't know how people afford to live. I can't afford to live. I step out of the house and I'm already poor.
Yeah, listen, I spent almost $200 at Costco today. Just on me.
I mean, don't look at the price of donuts.
Look at the price of fucking donuts, man.
It's insane.
They're out here charging $11 for 6 donuts.
Make that make sense. We're going to have to start making our own.
Donuts cheap again.
I mean, you heard what she said.
Nara Smith has to have a recipe for some damn donuts because I can't keep going out like this. That's expensive. Dude. Chipotle is even cheaper than that.
How do families afford to do anything? Like, I don't even have kids.
Can you imagine? Girl, I be moving in my mama. I look at it's like my friends and like people I went to high school with in college, and they have not just one child, multiple children. Mm-mm. Some of them are in single parent households. And I'm like,
how are you doing it?
Are y'all just eating cereal? How are y'all doing it? Because there's no way in this economy as a single person without children right now. And in my tax bracket, I'm just like,
y'all are making that tax refund stretch. I guess.
Ain't bought no pair of shoes in a good minute. Mm-hmm. I ain't bought no. And then you gonna tell me you these shoes don't fit? I just bought you shoes 3 months ago.
You will not be getting another pair.
You gonna be wearing them high waters. I understand why parents now force their children to wear high waters. I can't afford it.
That's how do people afford kids? How do you afford kids,
baby?
I would literally have to just work to pay for daycare, but that's not even the house and any like.
Daycare is a whole nother mortgage.
It's so expensive to be a person right now.
And then you men out here complaining about child support, I will beat your ass. Because ain't no fucking... Y'all better stay in that damn house together. I don't care if you don't like each other. Stay in that house together.
Cheaper to keep.
Man, Jesus. Fix it, Lord Jesus. What were you talking about? Speaking of... Well, not really. What were you talking about the military, specifically with the LGBTQ plus community as we're closing out Pride Month?
As we're closing out Pride Month, I don't want to misspeak.
Please don't. The gays will come for you.
I know. Gee, what are the letters?
LG, a B and a 2 and a Q. What?
And a 1 and a 2 and a 1.
LGBTQ plus. I was like, whoa, too many letters at one time.
Joe Biden just passed a pardon, and it'll potentially affect like hundreds of thousands of military men and women who were like, oh my God, please, do you see this?
Were they like kicked out or something?
They were convicted under like this gay sex ban in the military where if you
convicted?
Like, it
was a crime to be gay in the military. I'm being serious. It was a crime to be gay in the military?
Yeah, and they were let go out of the military if you got caught doing something that they thought was, gay.
Okay, how long ago was this conviction? What? Well, so they were convicted of felonies or what?
Just like in, the service.
Like misconduct? Was that considered
yeah.
To be gay was considered to be misconduct
if they caught
in the
you
military?
Doing gay acts, yeah.
I can imagine that was probably some kind of like 10-star general who got caught bending over. And he was like, oh, we're banning all of it because I don't want to be exposed. I can guarantee it comes from homophobia, obviously.
Yeah, and I guess the majority of them were convicted before like the 90s because that's before Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Convicted?
So this would be like retroactive.
They gonna give them pay?
No, probably I think they're just gonna drop the convictions.
So you're free, but you don't have no bootstraps or no boots.
Yeah, I'm assuming most of them didn't get like jail time and stuff. They were just discharged.
Did they lose their pensions?
When you're discharged from the military, don't you lose all your stuff?
Yeah, unless you're honorably discharged. or like medically discharged.
Yeah. So
don't get me wrong, I'm not in the military.
Then they're trying to retroactively provide benefits to members who were honorably discharged because of sexual orientation, gender, or HIV status.
Y'all were discharging people for HIV. The military. Oh, the America. Good God. Mm-hmm. From bad to worse. Jeez. I did not know all that was happening. See, and you wonder why your enrollment waits now. This is why.
No one wants to join the military.
Hell no. You convicted people of being dishonorable because they engaging in happiness?
I just thought it was crazy because they had projected that this pardon would affect like 100,000 people, and I was like, that is insane.
That's ridiculous.
That's so many people.
Who out here snitching on people having sex with each other anyway?
That's what I'm saying. Also, like, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe these people bust more nuts, you have less
crime.
To
me, the military is like jail. Like, people just try stuff because they're bored.
Yeah, the military, no disrespect to the military, because I'm so appreciative of y'all giving y'all lives. But some of you, not all of you.
Not going to do it.
Because I'm not going to do it. But I just feel like it's a good old boys club. That's all it is. And it's like, it's a dictatorship. That's all that the military is. And it should not be that way.
It took till 2024 for y'all to be like, oops, sorry, that was really fucked up for us to do.
They're still, announcing first black, first Hispanic, first Asians, whatever in 2024. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you want somebody to come and fight for this country? Bitch.
I just think if you're putting your life on the line to serve this country, to do the things that a lot of people don't want to fucking do, like,
let these people get their nuts busted by whomever they want to get their nuts busted by.
Show up, put the uniform on and show up, and as long as you're not doing something heinous,
right,
just let them fucking be. No one wants to do the jobs.
Don't ask, don't tell. What you think?
Are these the black? Do you think these are the black jobs?
No,
these are not the black jobs.
I don't know what a black job is.
I'm still wondering.
I'm a physical therapist. I don't know what a black job is, and you're gonna have to tell me because I'm not gonna assume.
Yeah,
I already know what black job you think it is. I already know what job you think it is for black people.
Black doctors, black lawyers. I really know black people who do every job that every other race of people does.
My black job is being a physical therapist with a valid license and a valid doctorate degree that actually means something.
Black job.
It's a black job. You are a black occupational therapist.
Yep.
With a license, with a whole master's degree that actually means something.
Black job.
Black job. Except for half the year, then you're white. When you see me, I'm white. Speaking of black jobs and whatnot and doctorate degrees, we got to talk about it real quick. So there's been this discourse. I know y'all heard us talk about a few times about honorary doctorate degrees, and speaking of, and how a lot of these schools just hand them out like participation trophies, right?
It's her favorite thing is an honorary doctorate.
No, I hate honorary doctors. I think honorary doctors are stupid, except for in the sense of people who have passed away. I believe they call them posthumous. Humorous. Is that how you pronounce it? Humorous? Humus? Let's Google it real quick. That's not serious.
It's not humorous. That's your...
It's got to be humus. Yeah. Look it up real quick. Because if we're going to talk about it and talk shit about it, at least be able to say it.
Humus. Posthumous.
Yeah, posthumous. Yeah. Posthumous degrees. Or doctorates.
What the fuck
degrees.
Were we saying?
You said humorous.
No, you said...
No, I said posthumous at first, and then you were like, humorous?
Don't put that shit on humorous.
Me. Rewind the tape back and say who said humorous first. Anyway, so on this past week, Pretty V, who is a comedian, and she's most notably on Wild 'N Out and just doing comedy skits and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So she did a speech at some college, and they gave her an honorary doctorate. And so, of course, on social media, she was like, put some respect on my name, call me Dr. So-and-so, blah, blah. No. And so people were in the comments of her post saying, bitch, hell no, that shit ain't real. Fuck you. And so she went on live and was like, y'all are just jealous and blah, blah, blah. And I said, baby, those of us with actual doctorate degrees, baby, we ain't jealous of nobody else who got one because we know how hard that shit was to get. So, yeah, I just only think that honorary degrees, I think schools need to stop doing that shit. And I think we need to go back to the time of when somebody comes to do a speech, you either pay them or you give them a fish dinner and call it a day.
Yeah, throw them a check.
But stop giving honorary, because my thing is, what did you get an honorary doctorate degree in?
My thing is, what is that paper worth to you?
Nothing.
Like, nothing, right? Which makes me feel invalidated because my paper's worth, I don't know, $200,000. And
so is mine.
A fucking lot of sleepless nights and stress. And shit. Why do we have to give them this degree, like, why they don't want the degree? They have nothing to do with this fucking program.
You can't do anything with it. And going back to your point of invalidation, it does invalidate the title doctor. Because I'm going to tell you this, as a person working in healthcare specifically, who has a doctorate degree, I have a clinical doctorate degree, right, in physical therapy. We, as physical therapists, cannot be called doctor in the hospital, because for some reason medical doctors feel like they have gatekept this word, and they feel like patients will be confused. Patients think everybody who comes in is a fucking nurse.
That's true.
They don't even know who they are half the time. So I'm not sure where this confusion comes from, but also too, I'm not hung up on people calling me doctor inside of my work. Now, when I need to bring out my 4 degrees, I will, because if you try me, I'm gonna have to bring out the level of intelligence. However, I just feel like for those of us who have actually spent time, money, energy on getting doctorate degrees, we are not hating on somebody with an honorary doctorate. But to then try to call yourself Dr. So-and-so, number one, is illegal, but also two, it's unethical as well too, because you don't have the credentials or the qualifications, right? Most of us take for in the clinical side or in the medical side, we take board exams, right? We also and we have to pass those board exams with a certain number or a certain score in order to practice medicine, right? Not only do we have to do that, we have to do continuing education units to make sure that we are staying on top of our career and the latest and greatest technology and innovation, blah, blah, blah. I know for my friends who have PhDs, them PhDs ain't no joke. Dissertations are no joke. I mean, we had to do a research paper at the very end, but I mean, you just used to doing a bunch of papers and shit. But for those people who have to go before a committee and actually defend their topics, is insane, and it's expensive, and it's lonely, and it's tiring, and it's stressful. And then all of a sudden you come up here with this honorary doctorate degree, but you don't have the honorary debt that goes with it.
Well, and I'm just thinking, like, the honorary degrees have been for like contributions or, you know, affiliations or impacts that you've had in this like sector of whatever you can't you just give them an award? Can't
give them a certificate?
Can't we just come up with another kind of name award? Like, why do you have to get the honorary degree? You didn't do the work. You just helped to further along things in that field. You didn't do the work to earn this degree.
If you even did that, you're just famous, and they wanted somebody famous
really
to
think
come and do a speech.
they're just giving them out like candy these days.
It makes no sense. The honorary doctorates are so stupid.
You can't put it on your resume.
I have an honorary doctorate. Get the fuck in what? If one person can tell me what their honorary doctorate degree is in, and that they've been actually able to use it, maybe the conversation will change. I doubt it. Like, it's the dumbest thing in the world.
If someone came up to me and they're like, "Oh, I have an honorary degree in occupational therapy," I'd be like, "Whoop-de-fucking-do."
How about, did you die and come back? Because the only way that's applicable is posthumous.
Was it posthumously or not?
Right. Humorously. Yes, I was very funny. It was very funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I just need every celebrity out there, stop telling people to call y'all doctors, so that's stupid and it's not real. Okay?
I feel like this is getting more and more popular. We're just hearing about it more, but like I feel like every grad season, all these people are getting honorary doctorates.
Well, because remember, even too with Bill Cosby.
And specifically doctorate. Are these even doctorate programs, or they're just giving away doctorates?
Well, I know one school. I'm just going to say this is because they're a rival of ours. Bethune-Cookman University, they do not have a doctorate program, or at the time they did not have a doctorate program. And Betsy DeVoe came to speak, and half of the students walked out and booed her. Anyway, but they gave her an honorary doctorate. I was like, baby, y'all don't even have a doctorate program.
Do you see what I'm saying? It makes no sense.
Honorary doctorates equal participation trophies. Stop giving them shit. Yes. You're a loser.
Just tell them thank you for coming. Give them a plaque or something.
It. Just have the famous person come and give a speech. Here's the thing. Once you have gotten a doctorate degree, first of all, once you've gotten a degree, period, we don't need you at the very end to try to inspire us. We have already inspired ourselves, which is why we're at graduation on today. Okay? All this, go out and see the world. Bitch, we've been in it. Most of us didn't have money to go to college in the first place, which is why we had to go use college to get out of whatever situation we were in. Yeah. Most of us work part or full time in order to put ourselves through college. We don't need you at the end to come in and give no stupid ass inspirational speech, bitch.
Good job. You did it. Yeah, I know I fucking did it. Give me my
shit so we can go. I'm hungry. Turn this goddamn task so I get the fuck about it.
And I actually did the work to be here. You did not.
Again, honorary doctors, you will never convince me that they are, again, unless it is posthumous. That's the only way that I will say yes, that a person should get a honorary degree, period, in general, but specifically a doctorate degree. Yeah. Ain't nobody calling you doctor. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Because even P. Diddy, they just took away his honorary doctorate.
As they should.
You shouldn't even gave it. Bill Cosby did the same thing. We're taking away all your 27 honorary doctorates. Boy,
Well, you shouldn't have had him. You didn't do the work.
you didn't do the work. Get out of here. Anyway, I'll tell you, speaking of not doing the work, let's talk about nepotism for a bit.
Oh, my favorite topic. Because I think I would be an amazing Nepo baby. I know that about myself.
I absolutely would be too.
God.
Nepotism. Let me tell you something. Nepotism. The reason why we want to bring up this subject is because if you guys haven't heard, LeBron James' son, LeBron James Jr. or Bronny, had entered the draft and was drafted, I think, in the second pick, 55th overall, in the NBA draft to go to the Lakers, and they are the first.
A surprise to freaking no one.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. They are the first father and son duo to ever be in the league at the same exact time and on the same team. So this is a record-breaking situation, right? I don't think the Lakers had any intentions on actually going to a championship and drafting him because they want to go to a championship. It was very calculated, allegedly. LeBron is one of the biggest figureheads in the NBA. And I think for his son, he's already been very vocal that I want to play at least one season with my son and then I get the fuck on and I move out of the league, right? Because he's been in the league for like 55 years. Anywho, so people are really upset and saying, oh, this is nepotism at its finest. What's the point of having a famous parent with power if you don't use them? The Trumps did it. And every other white person do it.
Half the NBA are players of old NBA players.
Yes.
And you know how they got into the NBA? Because their parents were in, their dads were in it. They know what to do and who to talk to and how to train them and where to send them. That's how it works.
That's how it works. Now, I'll tell you the only time I do not like nepotism, and that's when it comes to corporate America specifically, in qualified areas where people don't even have a degree. Because here's the thing. Bronny James can actually play basketball.
Y'all are acting like he doesn't play basketball.
The man plays basketball. Also, too, the boy went to go see Jesus last year.
He flatlined and came back. Give the boy a break.
He legit went to Jesus, and Jesus said, "Not right now, young man. Go back.
You got to go play for the Lakers at least one season." He saw the light.
Give him some time to come back and recruit from that. That's all I'm saying. But also, too, as a person who has a father who's in the NBA, he's had a front row seat to what this industry is. He is an insider in this industry. And I'm quite sure that his other son, Bryce, is going to be right behind him in the NBA. But also, too, I feel like in corporate spaces where people are not qualified to be there, they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge or the degrees or whatever the case may be, that's when nepotism don't need to be activated. But Bronny ain't trying to save the world. LeBron, they not killing nobody by him going into the Lakers. The Lakers we already know they ain't winning another championship. Let it the fuck go. People are talking about it's just a marketing. Yeah, it is marketing because they're about to bring a lot of money to the Lakers.
So much money. Also, it would have been weird and annoying if he was like the first draft pick, because that's inappropriate. The boy went second round.
Also, too, his father is a multimillionaire. Bronny is about to be getting a bunch of money in deals just because off the backs of marketing. This is how nepotism should work. Hell, I wish my mom and daddy had some nepotism to give me. Shit. But they had a black job, so they couldn't get me in.
Y'all are also acting like the NBA was the last good thing we had, and it was just this even playing. Shut up.
That shit is rigged, allegedly. You got referees over here getting fired because they, betting on teams and doing all kind of shady shit.
The Lakers sold their soul to Team James. Well, no shit. That's why half the people pay tickets and watch the fucking games. They're gonna do whatever he wants because did you hear that Rich Paul was calling everybody? And they're like, if you draft Bronny, he's leaving. We're all going to Australia. Don't do it. He called every team and said, don't fucking pick him.
And they probably said, let the door hit you with a good little snitch, bitch. Peace.
They said, we're not doing that. LeBron James is the name in the NBA right now, whether you like him or not. That's the name. They're going to do whatever the fuck he says.
That man's knees is tired, okay? Let the man play one season with his son. They ain't going to win shit. Just watch the game and enjoy. It's entertainment.
And okay, Lakers fans are going to be Lakers fans no matter what. So
it's like the Knicks. They're going to lose anyway.
It's just leave it alone.
Yeah, who the hell cares? Nepotism for the win, and I love that.
Also, why, though, this draft class looked all of 15 years old?
Who are these people?
I don't know a single, besides Bronny I didn't know fucking anybody.
He's going to bring notoriety just because he's Bronny James.
Because he's Bronny James.
No, name one person from the NBA draft. I'll wait.
Bronny James.
Bronny James. That's the only person I know. That's it. I've been watching WNBA. I can tell you a million and one
I didn't know players. Any of those young men. They all look all of 15 years old.
They do.
But they did have some fire outfits. I did appreciate that.
I feel like the men dress way better than the women.
They did. They looked cool. And they're all doing the thing now where like some of the boys will paint their nails and they're all into fashion and shit.
I hate that.
And okay.
I don't like men with painted nails. It's not homophobic. It's not like I don't think they're gay or anything. I just don't like it. I like the punk rockers who wear it. Okay. Like the heavy metal guys because they always wear black and stuff. But I don't like painted nails.
You don't like colors?
Yeah, no. But I don't even like...
But what if they paint their nails black?
It just depends on what industry you're in. If you're a heavy metalist, then yes, the nails are cute. Okay. But if you're not a heavy metalist or like a skater kid, it doesn't go with the outfit.
Okay.
Like, is there a certain look, like an emo kind of look?
Yeah. Like, you don't like the black nails?
No, because he's not emo.
No.
Or like skater boy. I don't like that.
I like his crop tuxedo jacket.
I mean, you're free to do whatever you want to. I'm just saying, to me, it more resembles like emo people.
Jared McCain. I liked his outfit. I liked this like return to the really shitty 90s oversized suits that we were doing.
Like the Vince Carter suits.
Yeah, everyone looks like freaking Tim Duncan. There was some cool stuff.
Who wears a bad suit every single time?
Who?
Billy Porter.
Oh.
I love his suits. I just do.
He's got the vision.
He's got the vision.
And he executes
Sometimes
very well.
He puts too many rhinestones, but for the most part, I love his pantsuits. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen him in a bad outfit.
I have.
What is it?
We'll move on. Anywho, I don't want to get canceled by he can read.
Anyway, all I have to say, I love nepotism unless it's used against me. I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
And I wish that I could benefit from it.
I absolutely do, because a lot of times we already know, and especially in this day and age, it's not what you know, it's who you know, which is why, these industries, social media, the music industry, entertainment industry is so small because it's not what you know, it's who you know. You're
just not going to convince me that this has ruined all of NBA. Like,
the games have been rigged for years, allegedly. Like, and people are like, what was his name? Who does hot takes with Matt Barnes, and what's the other guy's name? Who looks like George Floyd, but it's his cousin. I think. No, for real. That I think that was his friend. He was very close to George Floyd. But they used to call each other twin too. I can't remember his name, but he was in the NBA as well. He was talking about black privilege. I was like, there's no such thing as black privilege. But anywho, it's called nepotism. And then Rick Ross gets online talking about, well, y'all always come out with these new words every year. Nepotism. I said, Rick Ross, nepotism is not a new word, baby. Maybe you're just new to reading. Nepotism has always been there. Okay?
There's always something.
Man. I was just like, y'all always come out with these new words. What did he say? Trauma bond. And I was like, Rick Ross, shut the fuck up. He's so stupid. Oh, that's my funny. Gosh. Well, off the backs of that, well, we should talk about it. We talked about home prices, but anyway, going back to home prices, rent. There's been a war on rent, as we know, since inflation.
A rent war.
Yes, where people are required to now pay 3 times the rent as like their security deposit, first month's last, and they have to make 3 times the rent or whatever. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was...
Which me, personally, will not be able to do.
No, when I was renting...
With my black job.
When I was renting, I remember we only had to get a security deposit in undergrad and in grad school. I didn't have to pay first and last and a security deposit. It was just one security deposit, you call it a day. Then, once I came to Texas, I had to pay, I think it was first, last, and that was your security deposit altogether. Mm-hmm. Now they're saying you have to pay. Some people are having to pay up to 3 months, whatever, depending on what their credit is. And
I remember.
Like
was it whoever just moved to Chicago? Who do I? Whatever.
Megan?
Megan herself. I want to say that it was like maybe it wasn't them. Someone said that it was 5 times the month's rent you had to make, or you would have to get a guarantor.
Yeah, which is insane. Because who's co-signing for people nowadays? Nobody
in this economy.
Yeah, so, this is, again, I don't know how true this is, but allegedly it's been all over social media. Anywho, and it's evidence-based. Starting July 1st, landlords cannot ask the tenants for 3 times the rent anymore.
Yeah.
Which they should have been anyway.
Yeah, it's my money. As long as you get your money, what the fuck does it matter?
First of all, if I'm giving you 3 times the rent, I might as well go buy a house and get a down payment, because that's what you're asking for at this point.
Yeah.
But
do they just want you to be able to prove that you make... I understand being able to prove that you make 3 times the rent to be able that you can afford the apartment, but like, how do you know that the money I'm getting is where
legal?
Yeah,
it shouldn't matter.
As long as you get your money, where the fuck does it just
Here's the thing too. I think from their standpoint as landlords, I can understand. Like, so my parents owned duplexes, right? Owned, previous past tense, and I remember when my dad first got these duplexes, and he had no clue what the fuck he was doing with managing properties, as a lot of people do, right? Because social media wasn't a thing. This was like in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? So social media was
sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like a great idea. I think I can get some, residual income, call it a day. And so he was renting it out, but of course people will tear up your shit because people who don't care will tear up your shit. Mm-hmm. And we have there's an unfortunate stigma that comes with people who are on Section 8, that they ruin your stuff. Every person on Section 8 does not do that. But there unfortunately has been a good majority, and the bad stories unfortunately outweigh the good stories.
Right.
And so he had this one tenant that actually died the same way Elvis did on the toilet. Anyway.
Everyone dies on the toilet. You think they vagal and just...
Yeah.
It just never comes back.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sorry.
And so, no, you're fine. And so I remember this one particular time, this guy, he moved out. He had to evict them because they weren't paying rent. This guy legit put holes all in the walls, did all this kind of shit, and it cost my dad like thousands of dollars in damage that the insurance company did not pay for because they only paid, a certain amount because they found any reason not to pay, allegedly. Anyway, so I understand from the landlord standpoint where they want to make sure that if you damage this shit, I want to make sure that I am covered so that way I can still afford to be able to flip this apartment and still make revenue versus you completely ruining this and I got to condemn it or whatever and start from scratch.
I guess too, the thought may be like, if you make enough, I'm requiring you to make a certain amount of money thinking that you'll be a better tenant because you make a certain amount of money.
Yeah. Which is not always true.
Also, it's hard out here, and I would like to have a nice apartment and not have to prove to you that I make $1 million a year.
Exactly.
To keep it. If I can pay the rent, I can pay the fucking rent.
It shouldn't matter. Listen, it's hard out here for a pimp trying to get the money for the rent. Okay? Damn. For the Cadillac and gas money spent will cause a whole lot of bitches jumping ship.
She's preaching today.
Okay? Listen to evangelist Taraji B. Henson. Okay? Anyway.
You mean Kendrick Lamar?
What?
Did you see her at the BET Awards?
Oh, yes, I did.
She parodied Not Like Us.
Not like, first of all, I love Taraji, but not when she's hosting. It's just her
Some
voice.
people just aren't hosters.
I think she does a great job at hosting. It's just, she gets into, her voice sounds like Yvette from Baby Boy. With Jody, my Jody. And I just hate that.
Yeah.
Her regular speaking voice, I love, but it's just, that high pitch, it just gets me. Anywho, what were you talking about the Paris Olympics? Speaking of...
Okay, Paris has tried to brand this Olympics as the greenest Olympics ever. So one of the big things that they want it to be super sustainable. There's been a lot of issues with the Paris Olympics. Did we talk about how they're people from Paris want to poop in the Seine River because they're upset because the Olympics is kind of really shitty when it comes to town for a lot of people.
Yeah, for the hosting city. Yeah.
For the hosting city. So a lot of people aren't excited about it. So in an effort to make this a more green and sustainable Olympics, right, Paris has decided to forego air conditioning in the Olympic Village for the people participating.
How would you ever do that?
I don't know, but you know who's up in arms about it?
The Americans. Absolutely.
Because you got us fucked up. If there's one thing we need,
it's AC.
It is circulating air.
But also too, I mean, I think that goes back to they try to make these environments very similar to how you are back at home, right? And so Americans are used to AC, and so we know just from a physiology standpoint, when you're, you want to make sure that when you're warming up, your muscles are nice and warm, so that way they are more flexible, all this kind of stuff. But also too, if you're hot and dehydrated and all that shit, you're not gonna perform well.
I'm just like, you can't sleep when it's hot. You're not gonna get quality sleep. Those beds are already shit. Every time they show the rooms for the Olympics, they're horrible because they're doing those these beds are meant to discourage Olympic athletes from hooking up with each other. So they do those cardboard beds now and all that stuff. And I'm like, y'all are worrying about so much shit.
I would just go to a Hilton or a Marriott. I would just do it.
I feel like they're just gonna bring a bunch of portable ACs and shit. But can you imagine?
We went to Paris, so we took my mom to Paris for her birthday in 2019, and we stayed in a Parisian hotel. Okay, it was not an Americanized hotel, which I will never do that again. I will never stay I will stay in an Americanized hotel only for the AC because I got eczema. Yeah. Okay, not because I don't want to be. I'm not cultured and blah blah blah. I got eczema, bitch. Okay, and we went in August. So the weather actually wasn't bad. It was probably like at nighttime, like 50s, 60s. During the daytime, the highest was like 75, and it was a nice cool breeze. However, just because it's breezy, baby, I got a whole portable AC in my bedroom, and I still sleep with a ceiling fan on, plus my air purifier and my humidifier. So I'm a type person, I'm a big back bitch who need AC, okay? Because I got eczema. And so for you to tell me, hey, we're going to try to be sustainable and we ain't going to give you no AC. Bitch, I would have quit the Olympics right then and there.
My thing is, you've made this claim. You want us to be you want to reduce your carbon footprint. This is going to be the greenest Olympics ever. Now you have 20 plus countries who all are saying that they're all going to bring portable AC units in because they want their athletes to run. Is that not going to be more harmful on the environment than just putting in a damn AC?
You fucked around and found out.
Because that is the first thing I would do. I'd be like, where's my portable AC?
It's too hot.
It's too hot.
This is not the same sun that we had when we were kids.
No.
So I need y'all to understand that global warming is real and climate change is real, Paris. And also, too, even going back to the Seine. So the Seine River, we did a riverboat tour
Cruise
on
or something?
it was just a riverboat tour on the Seine. That water is dirty as fuck. Or it was in 2019.
That was their whole thing, is we're going to clean up, and then remember the mayor's going to jump in, and that's why everyone's taking a shit in it, because they're all pissed.
You're going to get necrotizing fasciitis in that bitch. And that river was stank. It was a beautiful tour, but that river was, you couldn't see nothing in that river.
Yeah.
And the person who's not used to rivers and the lakes that they used to, bitch, it was disgusting. I don't know how they're going to clean that up.
She was chasing waterfalls.
I'm telling you. Good
so
God.
I'm excited for the Olympics, just baseline.
Oh, yeah. I love the
But
Olympics.
now this like other shit, I'm so excited to
What's
hear
your
about.
favorite sport to watch at the Olympics?
It's got to be gymnastics in the summer.
Yeah.
I like ice skating, figure skating, and in the winter, and I like the gymnastics. Also, Simone Biles has been killing it.
She has been, but some of her teammates have not. There's 2 teammates actually that were injured. I can't remember the young lady's name, but she was very promising. She ended up tearing her Achilles. Good God Almighty!
That's insane.
During the trials, and I'm like, that girl she been doing this shit for years, and then get to this point and tear her Achilles. God
I think I could be misspeaking because I don't do actual research for this podcast, but I think Simone Biles, in one of her, maybe it was vault, but like she attempted the highest scoring vault trick ever because it was so complicated.
Well, I heard that there was a particular coach that was trying to get something disqualified allegedly because Simone Biles keeps winning everything, and I'm like, well,
Because she's fucking amazing.
you're not like us. I mean, what else?
They're not like us. They're not like she's
Nobody
so
complains when the white men win all the time. Nobody complained when Tom Brady kept winning back to back championships. Nobody said anything. As soon as the black girl wins everything,
They're like,
it must be stopped. Shut
can't.
up.
She's too winning.
She's too winning. But yeah, you know what I am doing though for all of these athletes, because again, we work with athletes, we work with people who have disabilities and disorders and injuries and all that kind of stuff. I am praying for all of these athletes that they all do well, they stay injury free, because I cannot imagine spending 4 years of my life training for a 1 second situation, and then the moment you get there, all of a sudden you tear something, you break something, and it's horrible. It's horrible, and I feel bad for those children.
Yeah, she. On her floor routine, Simone Biles, she got like 12 feet in the air. Isn't that insane?
Well, she's so small.
She's so small and oh man,
She would have been a great cheerleader, like a flyer,
like a flipper,
a flyer, not a flipper, but a flyer.
She's just like she's destroying gymnastics.
I love it.
She is literally breaking down gymnastics walls so that the people coming behind her and her can build it up to be something even crazier than it is now. Good
I remember
for her.
4 years ago, people were saying, she wasted a spot, an opportunity to be there, and she pulled out and da-da-da. I said, yeah, because she had to protect herself and made sure.
Yeah, that's why she's here now.
If you can't do what Simone Biles does, shut your mouth.
Fuck up.
For real. Shut your mouth on why she chooses to not go into stuff. Because that girl, how high she jumps, she could literally break her goddamn neck coming down if she's in her head too much. Like, I really think y'all need to realize how dangerous a lot of these sports really are. They look cool, but they're very dangerous.
I'm not even gonna say it, but yeah, it is really dangerous.
Yeah, don't speak into negativity.
I know. Only positivity these days.
Absolutely. Also, speaking of amazing athletes, y'all know this is an Angel Reese Stan podcast. She has officially made history yet again. She now has bypassed Candace Parker as the only rookie who has had 10 consecutive games of double-doubles. So she broke that record today against, what was it? Not Seattle Storm, the Mystics, Minnesota Mystics, the Mystics. Anywho, and so she's an amazing basketball player. We love her. Anywho. Megan Thee Stallion came out with a brand new album.
And she just performed at the BET where she opened, and she looks
amazing.
Better every time I see her.
She does. Let me tell you something.
Fantastic, dude.
If you want to talk about for real, this is definitely a rebirth for her. Like her skin, beautiful body, banging hair, luxurious, whatever. She looks amazing.
She looks amazing. Slim, thick with your.
Listen, and she has a song in Japanese on her album, and I love it. And
she's just fun. I love her.
She's just trying to make us bilingual. I love it. It's educational, you know.
We love to learn.
Real hot girl shit. Anyway, what have you been watching before we get out of here?
I tried to watch season 3 of The Bear. It just came out. But then I forgot everything, so I had to go back and watch the last episode of season 2 of The Bear. But that episode makes me extremely anxious, so I've just been a little dance there.
Okay.
And then House of the Dragon's back out.
Cool beans.
Did we talk about The Perfect Wife on Hulu?
Mm-hmm.
Sherry Papini?
Yeah.
Finished that finally for real. That lady was a nutcase. Is.
Right.
Also, they show her prison photos, and she's like belle of the ball, like high school popular girl posing with all of her little inmate friends. Which, like, I get it, you make bonds in there, but I was like, you're there because you lied about your kid. It's so weird, so fucking weird. People love attention.
Yeah, and
that's what it is. And she probably got a shit ton of it in jail.
Oh, it's gonna be you, because you keep speaking it over your life, saying, "Oh my God, am I true E Hollywood story?" Just don't end up in jail. Whatever you do, please.
I know. I would rock the fuck out of jail, though.
Because I'm going to snitch on you. You already know I'm a snitch.
Hi.
I will snitch on you. You better not ever call me for help. Monica, I need you to help me
I would. You're the last person I would call.
Yes, because I'm coming with the police.
Yeah. You're like, I'm here. There's sirens and lights behind you.
I'd be like, you said what? Repeat it again? What's the address? 124?
I'm not telling you. You're recording everything.
52 West Street.
You did what? Okay, wait, how did you do that exactly? Who was there when you did it?
At what time?
You're calling me now from where?
Ping your location. Send me your location. And the police will arrive. Absolutely. I'm squealing on you. Absolutely.
Great, thanks.
I've been watching still Grey's Anatomy because Grey's Anatomy is amazing. Also too, I just watched Under Paris, which is on Netflix, and going back to the Olympics and the fact that they are in the Seine River. This movie is set in 2024 in June specifically.
So right now, and I'm not spoiling it, but it's about this particular shark who is living in the Seine, okay? And they have now adapted from a saltwater to a freshwater shark. Uh-oh, you don't want that.
And Paris is getting ready for what? A big triathlon.
Ooh.
And they spent $1.2 billion on this shit. They had over like 1,000 participants, but the shark is in the river, but nobody believes that the shark is in the river except for this one researcher who tracked this shark and you know, has some history with it and everything. I think, again, art depicts life. And for people who trying to swim in the Seine, allegedly, I don't think you should, based off the movie on Netflix called Under Paris.
If I can't see the bottom of the water, I typically don't like to swim in it.
No.
Yeah, at least I'd like to be able to see my feet.
I don't swim in rivers, period. I've never swam in a river, never wanted to, because I'm from Florida. We have beaches.
Oh, yeah.
And actual swimming pools, like in the backyard.
Yeah.
So I don't do lakes. I do rivers.
Like a lake. I will do a lake.
Lakes to me are murky.
They are murky.
Again, coming from Florida,
I know.
There can be an alligator or a snake in there, and I'm not getting in there.
No. Yeah.
People love to go to Lake Lanier in Georgia, which I think you're stupid if you keep doing that.
Isn't that the one where everyone dies?
Yes, because it's black spirits up underneath there. Mm-hmm. Maybe those are the black jobs. I don't know.
Maybe people are taking the black jobs.
Listen, you shouldn't have flooded their community. It's just like Atlantis. You shouldn't have flooded it. So those are the spirits of the ancestors. They getting you and they dragging you down. Anywho,
my gosh.
Anything else we can talk about before we get out of here?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining us for another episode of the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Y'all have an amazing week on purpose. And
oh yeah.
It is 4th of July this week. Please, y'all, be careful. Here's another tip from a PT and an OT, specifically from an OT.
Don't light fireworks in your hands and let them go off.
Thank you. Just don't do it.
Because you'll lose your fingers, and then we'll have to deal with it. Mostly me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to deal with that.
No. Don't blow your hands off.
Don't blow your hands off. Light it and walk away.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Man, that is just a classic.
So this is your neighborhood friendly reminder from your neighborhood PT and OT. Don't light firecrackers in your hands.
No.
Please. Because you're going to come see us and pay us your lovely copay. Okay?
We'll be like, that was stupid.
So what did you... Literally laid up in the hospital like this. What you in here for? Well, I tried to light a firecracker and my hand blew off.
What did you do that
sucks
for?
You.
Was it worth it?
Because then I got to get you extra equipment because you can't use a walker because you ain't got no hands, Lieutenant Dan.
It's just a lot for us to have to deal with.
Yeah, just don't do it. Be careful, y'all. It's already hot enough. Keep the shit away from your grass so that way you won't light your house and other neighbors on fire. Please.
Be careful. Be responsible. Be respectful.
Yes.
Be proud. Be brave.
I don't even celebrate that shit. Juneteenth. For the blood.
Eat a hot dog. I can't wait.
You love wet hot dogs. You're weird.
I don't love wet hot dogs. I love hot dogs, period.
I used to do. What was your favorite brand of hot dogs? We always talk about food. Anyway, we're trying to get out of here. What was your brand of hot dogs?
I love a Ballpark Frank. They plump when you cook them. And a Nathan's hot dog. And the ones from Sam. I think Sam's is Nathan's hot dogs. But what's the Jewish hot dog?
Kosher.
Not Horizon.
Hebrew National.
Hebrew National. That's a damn good hot dog.
I think I need to be Jewish just because of those goddamn hot dogs because they are delish. And I don't even eat meat anymore. But if I had to break my vegetarianism, I would break it for a Hebrew National.
There's something about a freaking hot dog. I went to the movies the other day. What did I see? I know. I love
it's processed away from dairy.
Mystery meat.
Yeah.
What did I see at the movies the other day? Oh, that stupid biker movie.
Okay, allegedly.
I had a hot dog. So good.
Hot dogs are good. People love to say, do you know what's in a hot dog?
Don't care.
Do you know what's in your mama? Shut up.
Don't care. Also, that parasite wrecked my stomach. So if I eat anything that's not bland, it just is not a good situation. And I ruined myself for a hot dog.
You already didn't eat because of your Vyvanse. And now the fact that you're not eating because of and this parasite has been kicking your ass for like a month.
I know. It's living inside me.
I think you need to chill on Mexico for a little while. I think they're trying to give you a point.
It's like
I think
the
you need to
meanest thing you could say is to chill on Mexico.
I didn't say Mexicans, but just not going to the country.
Even do you ever do blood type diet? Did you ever hear about that?
I did, but it wouldn't work for me because I'm vegetarian.
I tried to do my blood type diet once, but it was like the things that are bad for me are tomatoes, rice, beans, avocado. Do you know what that is? Mexican food.
Those are the Mexican jobs.
Those are the Mexican jobs. And I was like, this is not going to work for me. So back to the drawing board.
Yeah, that blood type diet, nothing on there I like. I'm like, nope.
This is malarkey.
Yeah, malarkey. Vote Joe Biden. I'm kidding. Vote however you want to. Anywho.
Just vote.
Show up. Just show up. God damn it. Just write somebody in. Vote for Harambe. We don't give a fuck. Anywho, y'all have an amazing week on purpose. Y'all remember to spread love.
Spread light.
And don't forget
to laugh your face off. There's table tennis at the Olympics.
Girl, they got what's the little horse thing?
Oh, what is that stupid something
like,
what the fuck is that called?
You know a white person created that.
It's so stupid. It's
like
the stupidest thing
and I'm like, you have
seen.
a broomstick in between your fucking legs, Megan. What the fuck?
Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.